I'm going to tell you the truth, friends. If we were together, I would want nothing more than to do our springtime planting together. Normally this is the time of year that I would do that with you, and we would plant wildflowers in little cups and put them in the window and take care of them, watch them grow, and then send them home with you to take care of at your house. But that's not something that we are able to do this year. So I am, however, still going to read this book to you because I think it's a wonderfully fun book, even if we are reading it while we're at home. And this book is called Splat the Cat, Oopsie-Daisy. It is based on the creation of Rob Scotton, who made Splat the Cat. This, however, I believe was, I don't want to say it's ghostwritten. Publishing is a complicated industry, which is not something you need to know about now, but the point is that even though this character was made by Rob Scotton, this book was written by, let's see, J.E. Bright. The cover art is by Rick Farley, and the pictures on the inside of the book are by Loryn Brantz. So, Splat the Cat, Oopsie-Daisy. All right, so I'm going to read this and then I will show you the pictures. It was almost springtime. The weather was getting warmer, but the sky was still gray and rainy. Splat thought being stuck inside was a waste of a Saturday afternoon. Splat perked up when a sopping wet Seymour scurried into his room. Seymour was carrying a weird-looking seed. "Where did you get that?" asked Splat. Seymour, with that seed. Look at the tuft it's got. I think we saw a seed like that in our book, 5 Tough and Tiny Seeds. Seymour held up the seed and stared at it. Then he shrugged again. "I wonder what kind of seed it is," said Splat. "It could be anything." "Well, there's only one way to solve this mystery, Seymour. Let's see if we can make it grow." "I think we need to plant it first," Splat said, "but I've never planted anything before. Do you know how to plant a seed?" Seymour shrugged. "Okay, then let's go to the library to find out," Splat announced. Splat and Seymour walked straight to the library to look for a book about gardening. The only problem was there was so much information. Splat wanted to grow one seed, not a whole field of corn. That was the sound of our door opening. After staring at the shelves for a long time, Splat finally asked the librarian. She was happy to help him find the perfect book, as librarians are. The book said the first step was getting a pot and filling it with soil. Not all the soil landed in the pot. Next, Splat planted the seed in the dirt. He set the flower pot on a sunny windowsill. Then he watered the soil. Not all of the water went into the pot. This little umbrella. Very relatable. Splat checked the flower pot every day. He hoped and hoped for any sign of a sprout. He wondered what kind of plant it would be. Maybe the seed would grow into a wild garden of roses. Or maybe the seed would grow into a tree as tall as the sky. Splat could not wait to see what grew. He sang to the seed, read to it, and told it stories. He's taking good care of that seed. For 2 whole weeks, Splat waited and waited for the seed to do something. Splat was ready to give up. Maybe the seed would never sprout. Feeling terribly disappointed, he watered the soil one last time, just in case. The dirt in the pot shifted a little when Splat added water, and a tiny green sprout sprang up. Splat cheered loudly, but quickly shut his mouth. He didn't want to scare the little plant back into the soil. I think that he needs to worry about scaring Seymour more than he needs to worry about scaring his plant. During the next week, the sprout grew a few straggly leaves. Splat was thrilled when a few days later a little bud appeared atop the stem. The next day the bud opened and the bloom blossomed. It wasn't a wild jungle plant, or a many-colored rose, or a tall, tall tree. It was a flower, a little daisy, and Splat knew just who to give it to. "I love it," said Mom. "It's the most special flower ever." Splat smiled as he hugged his mother. "I grew it myself," Splat said, "with a little help from Seymour." The end. Planting is something that you can do at home with the right tools. All you need is a seed or a small plant. You need dirt, sunlight, and water.